Welcome to this YouTube channel. In this video we are going to talk about how to survive loneliness. So before starting this video, like this video, and subscribe to our channel for future updates. Loneliness is a topic we rarely discuss, even with our friends, because it is typically associated with shame. It may feel like you're to blame. You're a failure, a loser, you're not good enough, you're not normal, you're not like other people, something's wrong with you. But it's so widespread that it's approaching epidemic proportions. It has an impact on our health and well-being, as well as society, and we need to bring it to light so that we can begin to address it. But we hide it, cover it up, divert our attention away from it, disguise it anything to avoid acknowledging to ourselves and others that we're suffering from it, that we're lonely. 1 out of every 20 adults experiences loneliness on a regular basis. People feel unhappy, empty, alone, and unloved as a result of it. People who are lonely often crave human contact, but the irony is that chronic loneliness alters the brain's landscape, affecting the way you think and your outlook on life. This state of mind makes it more difficult to form connections with others and can lead to further social isolation and depression. Loneliness isn't always associated with being alone. Rather, it's about a sense of being alone and isolated. You can feel lonely whether you're alone, in a relationship, or in a crowd. Whereas solitude entails being alone but feeling at ease and even flourishing as a result of it. If you've ever been lonely, and I'd be astonished if you haven't, you'll know that loneliness manifests itself in your body. In fact, the same area of the brain that senses physical pain also experiences loneliness. Emotional and physical pain both engage the same brain areas. Isolation, when you think about it, is a form of suffering. It's a punishment. When children are misbehaving, they are taken to their rooms to be alone. It's no surprise that we react strongly to it. Loneliness and being alone are primal fears. Safety was formerly a top emphasis. To be a part of a pack, we evolved in tribes. No matter how romantic or manly that sounds, we're not lone wolves. Human beings require interaction with one another. It's how we know we're alive, where we feel protected and at home. Loneliness can be caused by a variety of factors. Fear of rejection, or not letting people in, because you're worried they'll harm you. Maybe you tell yourself, I'm alone, and I don't enjoy it, but I know it's safer. We're hardwired to recreate what we know, even if it's unpleasant. Maybe you feel insecure in relationships and lonely even when you're with friends, family, or a partner. You don't converse or connect. It's far too easy to brainwash yourself into being lonely, telling yourself that it's safer to be alone because you were hurt the previous time, your relationship didn't work, and others don't like you. Consider how you speak to yourself and whether you're telling yourself any damaging stories. Were you telling yourself things like, I'm never going through that again, it nearly killed me last time, I was so upset, I thought my heart had been ripped out, it destroyed my heart. After your buddy dumped you, you were bullied, or you broke up with a partner. Then you listen to all the songs about broken hearts and pain that go something like, love hurts, I'll never fall in love again. It's no surprise that your mind doesn't want to take the danger again. It's desperately attempting to prevent you from being injured again. Even if it's your decision and the best thing for you, such as in an abusive or poisonous relationship, ending a relationship can leave us feeling incredibly lonely because it still includes loss. You may experience acute loneliness as a result of the death of a spouse or friend, the loss of a dream, the loss of the illusion that everything is well, or the loss of time put in that relationship. And this loss can make you feel lonely because you are dealing with the tsunami of emotions that can accompany grieving, loss, or any form of transition on your own. Of all, being lonely isn't solely due to a breakup with a friend or relationship. There are other factors as well. The overwhelming feelings of loneliness that accompany mourning can be surprising when you realize you're alone, that no one else can grieve for you, and that it's something you have to go through on your own. Perhaps your self-esteem has plummeted, and you're unsure if people want to spend time with you, or you're concerned that you have nothing to contribute. Shyness and a sense of not being good enough may prevent you from interacting with others and developing new acquaintances or deepening existing ones. You're frightened that if you showed your true self, you'd be found wanting, that people wouldn't like you, and that you wouldn't be good enough. So you hide because it's safer that way. No one can judge you as unworthy or reject you. Being a part of a large family or social group isn't always beneficial, because you may feel you don't fit in with them anymore, because you've changed, or you never felt like you belonged with them in the first place. You may feel lonely simply because you aren't in touch with individuals who get you and get what you're about. If you've been lonely for a long time or feel lonely at least once a week, please take action. We are all aware of the negative effects of loneliness on our health. Loneliness combined with depression has the same health risk factor as smoking 15 cigarettes a day, and it has a negative impact on both our physical and mental health. Make an effort to find micro-connections. The degree of connection is crucial. There are the superficial relationships, such as the conversations you have when buying your morning coffee, and there are the connections we have with our co-workers. Don't overlook the significance of these micro-connections. Talk to the person who serves your coffee, pass the time with your neighbors, and engage in conversation whenever possible. We know that this can alleviate loneliness and make us feel more connected to the rest of the world. You might not feel comfortable doing this right now, but the more you do it, the simpler it becomes. Yes, you'll receive the cold shoulder now and then, but don't let that deter you. You'll get more favorable responses than negative ones. Then there are acquaintances, individuals you can meet up with, and have fun with but with whom you are not completely honest. People who know all your dirty, dark secrets, your faults, and defects yet still accept you are those with the deepest degree of relationships. You may not have a lot of these, which is great, but you do require some. 3 or 4 is a good number. Because it's the quality of social contacts that matters, not the quantity, don't get too caught up in the statistics. That trusting people and showing our true selves, making friends, developing strong connections, or trusting a new spouse needs bravery and vulnerability. It requires you to summon all of your courage. To live a rich life, though, you must take a chance and learn to trust yourself and others. Some individuals have a hard time with this, and who have either never had it or have lost it, and perhaps you are one of them. This could be due to your past experiences, your childhood, or a traumatic event that made you feel unsafe and forced you to retreat inside. So you have poor self-esteem, and believe you will never be good enough to be accepted by others, that you are imperfect. But don't allow the events of the past dictate your future. It isn't required. It doesn't have to be this way forever just because you haven't been able to have excellent connections in the past. You can learn and change. It's something that people do all the time. People have moved on from traumatic childhoods or past events and experiences. You can learn how to build strong relationships. It's also worthwhile to put in the effort because excellent relationships and friends assist us to be more resilient and happy. Friendship cannot cure loneliness, but it does assist us in surviving it. We fill our lives with terrific dialogue, heartfelt love and support, and laugh out loud joy when we spend time with friends. When we are going through a difficult period, friends are there to help us put things in perspective. They are pleased for us when we succeed. We will be more grateful and do pleasant things for others if we surround ourselves with down-to-earth, cheerful people. When we have healthy friendships, we don't just survive, we thrive. So, if you're lonely, don't be embarrassed to admit it. You are not alone. Millions of people are in the same boat as you. Don't let it define you, keep you tiny, or prevent you from being yourself, developing honest, true, and meaningful connections, and enjoying a full and happy life. What do you think about this video? Do let us know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.